Have you ever felt like your dreams are too big for your current situation? Like you're stuck with empty pockets and a mountain of ambition? If that's you, then you need to hear this story. It's about a young boy named Leo who had nothing but lint in his pockets and a universe of dreams in his mind. His story isn't just a story. It's a testament to a power that lives inside every single one of us, the power of thinking big. Leo grew up in a small, forgotten town where dreams were considered a luxury. Most people were content with their simple lives, but not Leo. He would spend hours at the local library devouring books about great inventors, artists, and leaders. While his friends played in the dusty streets, Leo was exploring different worlds, learning about faraway lands, and sketching inventions in his tattered notebook. His family was poor, and often dinner was a meager affair. His clothes were hand-me-downs, and he'd never owned a new toy. One evening, his father, a kind but weary man, saw him staring at a picture of a gleaming skyscraper in a magazine. "Son," he said gently, "it's good to have dreams, but we have to be realistic. We are simple people. Aim for a steady job at the factory. It's a good, honest life." Leo loved his father, but something inside him rebelled against that realistic view. He didn't want a good, honest life at the factory. He wanted to build things that touched the sky. He wanted to create, to innovate, to leave a mark on the world. That night, he made a promise to himself. He wouldn't let his circumstances define his destiny. His pockets might be empty, but his mind was a treasure chest. This is where the magic begins. The next day, instead of just dreaming, Leo started doing it. He didn't have money for materials, so he became a master of resourcefulness. He started collecting discarded scraps from the town's junkyard, old clock parts, broken radios, pieces of wood, and bent metal. To others, it was trash. To Leo, it was a treasure trove of possibilities. He started small. He built a small, self-winding clock for his mother from old gears and springs. He fixed the neighbor's broken radio. His hands were always grimy, his nails chipped, but his eyes shone with a fierce determination. People in the town started noticing. They called him the junkyard genius. Some scoffed, but others were impressed by his ingenuity. But Leo's vision was bigger than fixing radios. He had an idea for a revolutionary new type of engine, one that was more efficient and eco-friendly. It was a concept so far ahead of its time that when he tried to explain it to the local mechanic, the man just laughed. "Kid, you've been reading too many fantasy books," he said, shaking his head. Did that rejection stop Leo? Not for a second. It fueled him. He knew that people with small minds can't comprehend big dreams, so he doubled down. He spent every waking moment refining his designs, building crude prototypes from his junk collection. He failed over and over again. His workshop, a corner of the family's shed, was a graveyard of failed experiments. There were days when doubt crept in. He'd look at his calloused hands, the mountain of scrap metal, and the single dim bulb lighting his workspace. He'd hear his father's words about being realistic echo in his mind. Was he just a fool chasing an impossible dream? Was everyone right? But then he'd remember why he started. He'd look at the picture of the skyscraper. He'd remember the feeling of creating something from nothing. He understood a fundamental truth. Thinking big isn't about ignoring reality. It's about seeing a different reality. It's about believing in a future that doesn't exist yet and having the audacity to build it. His breakthrough came in the most unexpected way. The town was hosting a small regional fair, and there was a tiny booth for local inventors. Most people displayed simple farming tools or crafts. Lee, with immense courage, decided to showcase his latest engine prototype. It was ugly, cobbled together from disparate parts, and it sputtered and coughed. Most people walked right past his booth, barely giving it a glance. But one person stopped. He was a well-dressed older gentleman, an engineering professor from a university in the city who was passing through town by chance. He didn't see the junk. He saw the genius behind it. He saw the revolutionary principles in Leo's design. He asked Leo question after question, his excitement growing with every answer. He saw past the empty pockets and the humble origins. He saw a mind that was thinking on a completely different level. That day changed everything. The professor offered Leo a scholarship to his university. He saw the potential that everyone else had overlooked. Leaving his small town was the hardest and most exciting thing Leo had ever done. He arrived in the big city with a single worn-out suitcase and a mind brimming with ideas. The university was a paradise. For the first time, he had access to real labs, proper tools, and mentors who not only understood his vision, but challenged him to think even bigger. Years passed. Leo excelled. He absorbed knowledge like a sponge. He refined his engine design, filed patents, and eventually co-founded his own company. The boy who once built things from junk was now leading a team of the brightest engineers in the country. His company didn't just build engines, it revolutionized the entire transportation industry. One day, an elderly Leo stood on the observation deck of the tallest building in the city, a building his company had helped design and power. He looked down at the sprawling metropolis, a testament to human ingenuity and ambition. He reached into his pocket. This time, it wasn't empty, but he knew with absolute certainty that the real wealth was never what was in his pocket. It was always what was in his mind. Leo's story teaches us a profound lesson. Your current situation is not your final destination. Your bank account doesn't measure your worth, and your background doesn't dictate your future. The single most powerful tool you possess is your ability to think big. Thinking big is what separates the dreamer from the doer. It's what turns obstacles into opportunities and junk into treasure. It's the audacity to look at an empty plot of land and see a skyscraper. It's the courage to believe in yourself when no one else does. So I ask you again, what are your dreams? Are they big enough to scare you a little? If they are, you're on the right track. Do not let the realists and the doubters shrink your vision to fit their own small world. Be like Leo, embrace your junkyard. See the potential in the scraps. Fail, learn, and fail again. What you feed it, big thoughts or small ones, will determine how far you go. Don't let your empty pockets convince you that you have an empty future. Fill your mind with grand visions, with audacious goals, and with an unshakable belief in your own potential. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to fuel your journey. Remember, think big and then think bigger.